home runs galore, and as good as this big league team is, yes, we can still not take our eyes off of the best farm system in all of baseball. And the guy who tracks everybody, who I just told you this earlier, is still the most impressive thing out of any role. We've got our own Steve Melewski in here with us to break it down on the farm. And Steve, first of all, a little jealous last night. I mean, this was a great game here, but you had eyes front and center on Kyle Bradish and his rehab and Bowie last night. What can you tell us about that?
It was really good. It was probably better than we had a right to expect, but man, he was dealing from the first pitch to the last. That's the end of his first inning. He elevates for a strikeout, slider down and in. I mean, it was 3 scoreless, 1 hit, line drive single, 44 pitches, 26 strikes. I counted 11 whiffs, swings and misses. That is a lot for 3 innings. And again, 95-96 on the stadium gun. It was really good. It was impressive. He threw all his pitches. Brandon Hyde told us this morning he felt good, very upbeat about that outing. And so we don't know exactly when and where next, but the fact there is going to be a next, and the first one went really well. Very encouraging for the Orioles and Kyle Bradish.
Now, break this down for fans, because some of trying to understand what a rehab is like, I thought it was great in layman's terms with John Means will have 6 starts in the minors because that's what you'd have at spring training. So for Bradish in only 3 innings, they're saying, well, that's a small sample size. He has to go deeper. But really, even though it is smaller, what does that outing mean for him?
Well, I mean, 30 days you can have for a rehab assignment. So that gives him essentially his spring training, right? Because he didn't have the first one. So that's about what he's doing. But this guy is back. I mean, Thursday he threw a sim game in Aberdeen. Saturday he threw a bullpen here at Camden Yards. Tuesday he threw 3 innings at Bowie. First outing in spring training is seldom 3 innings for any pitcher. So how will it go the rest of the way? Obviously, fingers crossed for Kyle Bradish. The Orioles could really use him. But, man, was he good last night.
Well, and he's not the only one. I've loved seeing this because you'll watch a lot of systems that actually do not have that strength of developing pitching. That has not been the case here in Baltimore. There's a couple Cades that have looked really good, especially in spring training, but I want to get your thoughts on Cade Povich.
He's off to a sizzling start at AAA Norfolk. This is the pitcher the Orioles thought they were getting when they traded that Jorge Lopez deal with these Minnesota Twins. But Cade Povich, 1.10 ERA. Look at that. He's among the International League leaders in several categories. And when I watch him pitch, Melanie, I think pitchability. This guy throws 4 or 5 different pitches. He can command them. He does not throw that hard. 92 average velo Saturday in his last outing. He touches 93. But he is getting a lot of swings and misses on his fastball right now. So there must be some good late life, some good late movement. And again, look at him hitting his spot right there. Really a cerebral pitcher, 13.22 K rate right now. And he is really getting it done. 24-year-old lefty. You know, the Orioles felt that 5 ERA last year when he was between AA and AAA didn't completely reflect what they saw within the outings. I mean, it didn't look great on the stat sheet for him, but wow, 110 looks pretty great on the stat sheet.
I would say so. And what you like about this is you mentioned that late life. That to me separates. We've seen some of those craftier lefties trying to find that starting position before, but he stands above with the movement he's able to put on it, right, especially when you're sitting in those lower 90s. So,
well, he gets 6 swings and misses on 9 swings against his fastball on Saturday. So at 92, how's he doing that? You know, is it so Steve Johnson invisible? When Steve was here, he didn't throw that hard, but batters didn't seem to react to his pitches. So that could tell us spin rate is good, location is good, and swing and miss is always good.
Well, and on the other side of things, Frederic Bencomo, this was another name. I feel like a lot of these were saying, well, we saw him in spring because they're finally starting to get those reps. You know, we've seen how important it is for them to have just the exposure in the big league clubhouse. But what's he for you?
This kid's off to a great hitting start at AA. This is his first go-around. He's a rookie at this level. And look at the numbers Bencomo is putting up. And by the way, they're playing right now, and he homered today. So right on cue, kid. Way to go for us on our pregame show, hitting a homer today. But this is a delightful kid, 21 years old, from the Dominican Republic. He's already at the back end of those top 30 lists. And he told me he played 2 months with winter ball, Guayas, I believe is how you say it. And he didn't play a lot, but he soaked up knowledge from guys like Melky Cabrera, Christopher Morel, really took him under their wing. He said when he was in spring training with the Orioles, Santander and Mateo really took this kid under his wing. When Oriole fans get to see this kid Bencomo, they will fall in love with his personality. He's just engaging. He's dynamic. He wants to be good. He's doing interviews in English. He's worked so hard on his language skills. He's an impressive kid.
Well, and that makes sense if he's gleaning from Santander. Those two have put in so much time just to have that. Steve, thanks as always. I mean, we've already run out of time here. There's so much good talent to keep an eye on.
#1 farm. There's a lot of pride on the farm. It was in Bowie last night. Attendance is up at a couple places around the Oriole minor league. So they are enjoying what's happened in the warehouse that goes to places like Bowie and Aberdeen and Norfolk.